Hello, welcome to Samurai Breakfast number 123. I am Yoshi Arima, and today we're talking about continuing where we left off from last week about new questions being asked, foundations being rebuilt. What I've found in the last little while is that some brands that have had a real effect on my life are now changing their effect on me. So, two brands that I'll talk about, Star Wars and Apple. Now, with Star Wars, if you know me, I was crazy about Star Wars. I had so many Star Wars toys, so many Star Wars collectibles. And when Episode 1 came out, I lined up for it overnight. The craziness, that was just to get tickets, and then I had to line up with friends for the actual day of the show. And then you get in there, and we watched Episode 1, and we're just confused because it didn't bring us back to how we felt when we were little kids watching the first Star Wars. So it started questioning a lot of things. And it's interesting with this whole The Force Awakens movie coming out. I watched the trailers coming out and all the whatever they call those sneak peek trailers, the teaser trailers. And I watched those, and my reaction was actually like, I didn't have an attachment to seeing the Millennium Falcon or seeing the X-Wing fighters and saying, wow, this is going to be great, I need to see this right now. It was just like, yeah, I might see it. I don't need to line up for this. I don't need to buy tickets right away. And I realized that the brand had become very neutral for me. So emotionally, I wasn't connected to it as I used to be. I relied on them to make me feel good. And the other brand that I talk about is Apple. So a lot of you know me. I was Apple, kind of like they could do nothing wrong, love their products, and I still love their products. But what I have found, as each keynote had been coming out every year, it was kind of the same rhythm, same pattern, and I would start to joke a bit, kind of like thinner, lighter, faster, thinner, lighter, faster, thinner, lighter, faster. Right, and it was just like, yeah, it's just the energy just wasn't there anymore. And they would be explaining things that would make the technology that they put into it sound like it was something revolutionary that you could understand, like these keys that go up and down and they don't wobble and all that. Like I looked at it and it's like, why are they pulling for stuff like that now? The emotion is totally gone for me now, because I'm kind of looking at it and it's like, wow, is this a parody commercial that's out right now? Because I'm not really bothered by the way the keyboards have been working for the last 30 years or so. So it's just interesting that my connection to that brand used to be so strong that it's just like they can't do anything wrong. Now I still love what they do, but I'm not attached to them creating a certain product to make me feel a certain way. So what happens when you're not attached to a brand? You're able to see your life self-responsible for how you feel. And what's ending up happening is that the brand Art of Yoshi, the brand of Yoshi, is becoming the new foundation for me. Since this new moon, since this new portal on 11/11, it's become the new foundation for me, because a lot of things have built up to that point to all of a sudden something really shifted at that time. So I reflect that back to you. What about brand you? Your brand, you as a person, you as an individual, you as a spirit. Align with that brand and see if you can feel that. Compared to the other brands, like when people cheer for a hockey team and then they lose, then the city gets upset. They're attached to that brand, right? So what about coming back to you? Are you okay even when a product doesn't come out a certain way, even when a movie doesn't come out the way you want it, even when a computer or a team doesn't do the way you expect them to do? Can you still maintain your brand you? I think there was a book on that in the 90s called Brand You, and It's just an interesting way to look at that. I don't think I ever read through that whole book, but it's a great concept for getting back to self-responsibility, of saying you are self-responsible. Your brand aligns to the light. Your brand aligns to your passion. Your brand aligns to your heart. Keep aligning with that brand, and you'll find your foundation is a lot stronger. Doesn't matter what anybody else does. You can stay strong in who you are. And that is a beautiful life. I will leave that with you. Think about brand you. And until next week, thank you for tuning in as always. Create a magical, magical week. And I will see you next week. Joy, light, and love. Namaste.